We're going to attempt another 3S run here. Hopefully with the diff tuning and other adjustments, I get a better higher speed without flipping over. But I'm pretty sure it's still going to flip over, but let's find out. Make sure I'm tracking. Yep. Alright. I'm going to try 75 first on the dial. See, I'm at 75, hopefully. Because I know last time it still would flip on 75. Now that bus isn't here, maybe we can do something. Ooh, down the hill we went, way down. Wow. I almost wonder if it fell out down there. Definitely lost signal with it. There it is. Yeah, she's in there. Well, it didn't flip. Let's stop and read. 58. That's pretty good at 75. Definitely picked up some weeds. I'm gonna open this thing quick. Man, every time I think the GPS isn't gonna hang in, it does. And when I think it does, it doesn't. I have no idea where these people came from. Nobody was here when I got here. they're staying over there. Get down there and turn around. We'll give her full beans and get out of here. Got some laundry to do tonight. Oh, hang on, I gotta bring it back. Forgot to reset the GPS. Alright, we're reading. Hopefully you can see that. But let's do it. I don't know if these tires are going to hold up, but I want to run this as stock as possible. Alright, it definitely bumped that tree, but I don't know if it's upright. For some reason my lights aren't turning on. I don't know if I jiggled the wires loose with that tumble a couple minutes ago. I did apply a little bit of drag brake force. I think it's like 15%. That way at least it's gonna slow down right away before I even hit reverse. Alright, we're gonna... Oh, don't tell me it flew out. Stop. Read. 60. It's got more in it. Maybe I should check the temps and do it one more time. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, she's barely warm. I'm okay with that. Let's get this reset. Hopefully that showed up. I'll show you again. That was 60. Start. We're reading and tracking. So let's see what happens. Flipped over, cartwheeled. I'm gonna leave the car up there. I had to throw the GPS out. We'll go ahead and fast forward the video. I don't do all that editing stuff. I've tried. Some reason it won't recognize my files when I try to drag them into the editing program. It might be because they're 4K and I don't know if that program will work with 4K. It's a whole bunch of stuff I never got into. I can build a computer, install an operating system, but not very good at running a lot of software. think I started tumbling somewhere around this pole. I'll crack it open and make sure the GPS is in there. Look at that, just like I told you earlier. Every time I think it doesn't, it does. I think I should just lose all hope in it. I can see the tires expanding a lot. I might have to tighten up the center a little bit. Yes, I don't like to lock them. Some cases you gotta thicken them up good, but typically what I do is, if I use any earplug, I top it off with some diff fluid in there to kind of break it down. And before I put it in the vehicle, I chalk it up. One of the diff cups, well, not the diff cups, the output cups, I guess you can call it. They're all many different terms for them. I chalk them up in a drill, hold the other side with a screwdriver through the other, where your dog bone would go in, and I just spin them in the drill for about a minute or two. That way they're blended without having to run the car. And then I do it by feel. It's what works for me. You get the feel down for what you're looking for. Hopefully you get the results you want. But results definitely may vary. But we'll see what that final one was. You can count it or not count it in your book, because most rules are, with most speed runs, they don't count it unless you drive it back. But it's your call, whatever you want to say. Had the GPS been thrown out of the vehicle, oh yeah, now it wants to wait forever. Mine usually acts up on clear days. Just gonna go back and forth between apps, and maybe it says it's on. Yeah, you can see it right there. It's on. If I knew how to prevent it from doing this, I would do it, but it happens to a lot of people. Stop. It's probably gonna make me do one more. I know it. Alright, another reason not to count it in your own book. I'm going to close that app, open it back up. It might have saved the data. I have no clue. Okay, brought everything back up. hit stop, read. Yeah, 56. So it's definitely in the 50s range is when I gotta watch for it flipping. I might have to do some tweaking in the ESC to try to control the power band a little smoother. I'm going for it, whatever. I'm gonna do one last one. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I know. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Track. Start. Okay, it's reading as I'm waving the body. I noticed on my backpack, the pouch that I keep the Bluetooth tuner module and jigger, I had it left open, so it probably fell out in my living room or right at my door. So I really need to find that when I get home. Alright, we're still reading. I'm going to send it this way again. That way I don't have to worry about finding it in the weeds. Alright, come on. That was very, very close to that post down there. I'm bringing it back and I'm really calling it this time. It's getting too dark and for some reason these lights aren't working. I've got to look into that. Might be a radio setting too. So we'll hit stop and read. Yeah, 53. I wasn't going to lay on it too much there. Too sketchy. But we hit 60 earlier. I personally don't count the speed if the GPS unit flings out of the vehicle, because it might put leverage on it, kind of like, you know, throwing a baseball or something. It might actually be faster as it's flung out. So that happened last week when I was doing the 10S test on the Outcast. It flung out. Yeah, it said I think like 57, but it looked about the same speed as the run before. You know how it is when you run your cars. You know what they look like at certain speeds, and I don't count it if it flies out myself. So we hit 60. I know there's plenty more in it. I might have to bring the front down a little more. Maybe even mess with some shock oil. I didn't do any of that yet. All I did was just level the control arms in the front with the droop screws for now. I know there's other tricks you can use, like fuel tubing and other things to make spacers inside the shock. But they are level for now. Maybe bring them down just a touch. And then, like I said, I got to get in there with the programmer. Maybe I can control the curve, you know, just a touch. But we'll see what happens. This stuff is a lot of tuning and testing. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.